Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate that, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it, and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the Zenith Defy Classic, model launched at Basel 2018. It's a handsome Grade 5 titanium 41mm full bracelet automatic timepiece featuring the classic Zenith Elite caliber and the historically inspired Defy case. On my 16cm circumference wrist, it wears easily. Now, the Defy name dates back to 1967, and this watch largely recaps the general profile of that case, but everything about its execution is modern. It's still a reasonable 10.9mm thick, and because the bracelet, which is integrated in profile, is also completely downwardly flexible, you'll find that the watch measures a true 45.3mm lug-to-lug, making this watch reasonable and I would even say recommended for wrists as small as 13.5cm circumference. Once again, my wrist 16cm in circumference for scale. Grade 5 titanium weighs feather light, and it's used for clasp, bracelet, and case. Jumping in real close, you can see that the bracelet is integrated into the case flank such that, yes, you could use a standard size strap in those lugs, but because of the specific notched profile of the lugs, I'm not sure it would look correct without a Zenith factory bracelet or a properly cut and shaped Zenith factory strap. Fortunately, the titanium bracelet is such that you would never want to replace it. It's handsome, artfully integrated in the case flank, and as you can see, there's a lovely bevel down its side, a quasi-royal oak finish, although admittedly not the artisanal process of the royal oak. Handsomely finished over its top, it has H-pattern primary links with a wonderful faceting between, such that the intermediates glitter and glint like gems in the light. The satin finish over the top is attractive. The satin finish on the side feels mature and measured. And another surprise and delight feature, you'll note that the removable links are fixed by screws, no pin sleeves or spring bars here. The clasp is a twin trigger release unit, so it's very secure when closed, and happily, unlike many other brands, it's not a sequential close, so you can't close one side on top of the other. It's secure thanks to the twin trigger release, and as you can see, the components inside are quite substantial. The timepiece has a highly angular case designed in a modern paradigm, but at the same time with a nod to the Defy cases of the 1970s. So while this model has been called Baby Hublot, the reality is more complex than that, and the case shape is in fact Zenith's own from its distant history. The faceting is handsome, with the contrast between the polish and the satin really enlivening the lines, enlivening and I would even say drawing comparisons to the 44GS case of Grand Seiko. And that's no jest. I actually have a 44GS style Grand Seiko case right here, and while it is more complex than the Zenith has its own look that, again, being historically inspired, draws upon history and stays relatively faithful to that history until you get into the dial structure, which feels very 2019 LVMH. It's an open star-style dial, as you can see, with satin and DLC-coated center. It almost has the spoke pattern of something like a Lamborghini Aventador, with a blue metallic chaptering outboard for the minutes and the seconds, and then cantilevered applique indices, which are steel and then rhodium plated to create that mirrored shine. It is a fully loomed dial and thus easy to see at night. You'll also appreciate the fact that you can see the Zenith caliber 670 Elite underneath, including the star-shaped silicon escape wheel that operates unlubricated for high efficiency. Now you have both a stop seconds function for halting the seconds hand and a quick set for the date, but note that the date quick set, the date's down at 6 o'clock, it's bi-directional, so you can actually turn it in either direction. It's a good looking dial, and once you get used to orienting the hands against the indices and just ignoring the base of the dial, you find that it's also quite easy to read, which is not universal for open dials. Turn it all over. You can see, properly speaking, this is the caliber 670 SK, automatic winding with ceramic rotor bearings. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 27 joules. It's protected down to 100 meters. And of course, the Elite, being the newer of the primary Zenith calibers, also has the historic feather in its cap of being the first Zenith movement to be designed largely with the assistance of computers in the early 1990s. It also features Refinements you will not find in an El Primero, specifically the stop seconds function and the bidirectional quickset. Also, you'll note the full silicone escapement operating unlubricated allows these watches to reliably go 5, 6, even 7 years between services, so there is a real value-added element for the inclusion of that technology. A handsome watch that's not a slave to history, although it pays a nod and deference to history. It's a fusion of the past and present at Zenith. A handsome and handsomely proportioned watch in a universal size of 41 millimeters in a delightfully wearable and hypoallergenic titanium. See this one and make it yours on the watch box. Zenith Defy Classic. I promised you, it's an easy watch to read day or night.